And I can hit got it. Good evening, everyone. I am Marilyn McDonald, Chair of Bridgewater Conservation. We're going to open up tonight's meeting. I do have to first read this into notice. Notice of posted meetings to all town of Bridgewater boards and committees and the general public as required by Chapter 30A. Disclosure pursuant to Chapter 20 and Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021 and Act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting, Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be held hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom, and that link is there on the website. Now, Steve, per my understanding, this will be our last virtual meeting. We go live next, for anybody that's on, next April 14th. There will be no Zoom participation. Is that correct?
That's, from what I understand and what I've been told, that is how we're going to proceed.
I think we're doing hybrid, Steve.
Are we doing hybrid? The last I heard it was, I mean.
Sorry, this is Jennifer. We're not doing hybrid just yet. We're going to be all in person.
My apologies. My apologies.
That's why we wanted to keep double checking, and I'll, say it several times, Steve, to remind me throughout the meeting so people know that we will be live the next meeting. All right. So with that notice being said, I'm also going to let people know the public hearing of Bridgewater Conservation of how it proceeds. Bridgewater Conservation has a jurisdiction of 100 feet from wetlands and 200 feet from any riverfront. What happens is we're governed by rules and regulations of both the state and local bylaws to ensure that there is minimal impact to any wetlands for any filing within 100 feet to protect the performance standards also must be withheld. What happens is the applicant presents their filing. The board and the agent then have the opportunity to ask questions. We do open the questions to public afterwards, and we please ask you that you keep it to a minimum of a couple of minutes, and it's wetland questions only, please. We cannot answer any other type of questions that are not wetland related. Two things will happen. We'll either continue a meeting or we'll close a meeting. If we close a meeting, we have 21 days to render our decision. Once that decision is rendered, there is a 10-day business appeal period with Mass DEP before any order of condition is valid. That being said, I am going to read into the agenda for tonight. Under old business, we have an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, 013 Vernon Street, map 124, lots 2, 6, 12, and 81. Applicant is Manuel Bajinga. We have an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, 350 Cross Street, map 118, lots 89, 25, 24, and 23. Applicant is Robert Vaza with Silver Engineering, and a notice of intent of 900 Bedford Street, map 88, lot 133. Applicant is Jeff Jackaway, which I believe we have closed that one. Under new business, we will present 80 Goodwater Way, map 82, lot 56. Applicant is Roddy Brown. And then we have some conservation business with minutes, and we will start the meeting now with 1300 Vernon Street, please. Is Rebecca here? Or?
Rebecca is here.
Okay. So do you want to start or you want me to start?
Well, I attended the site walk that was posted and scheduled, and not much happened from there. So why doesn't the commission start?
So the commission, we had agreed that we would go onto the site walk and have the applicant's wetland specialist, along with the Bridgewater Conservation, has secured BSC. They now are working with the commission to make sure of the third party review. Right at the last moment, we heard that that was not going to be allowed. Therefore, we had canceled the site walk. One member did get there, but we had canceled the site walk. So I want to make it very clear that the third party review is crucial in anything here. So there's no flexibility with rules and regulations, and the commission is trying to do best for the applicant, everybody involved in this, but it's the third party stance. Now, from my understanding, Jennifer, we've got the okay with the third party consent with the town.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. I do see that we have Matt Byrne on from BSC. I'm going to have you start with an update of what you're kind of looking at for the commission to be looking at also. And then we'll, try to figure out what, whether you guys go out separately or what. But Matt, thank you for coming, and please enlighten us.
Sure, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'm Matt Byrne. I'm a senior ecologist with BSC Group, and I was engaged as a third-party peer reviewer last spring for this project. In March of 2021, myself and a soil scientist with BSC went out and did a site walk, and we produced a letter, the date of which I don't have handy, but it was back March of 2021.
I have that in front of me, April 14, 2021. I have your peer review letter.
Great. That pointed out a few issues. The first is designation of Snows Brook. One of the channels is identified as intermittent. Our observations in the field indicate that the channel that is farthest to the west connects up to the main channel, so that should not be identified as intermittent, but is one of the components of the perennial stream. So that's an issue. The eastern brook, the unnamed brook that bounds the eastern side of the site, is identified as a perennial stream on the current USGS topographic map. It is therefore, according to the Wetlands Protection Act regulations, it is therefore presumed to be perennial and would have its associated 200-foot riverfront area. The applicant has requested that the commission not call it perennial as they're trying to go through the process of documenting 4 consecutive days of dry conditions, which is the only way to overcome the presumption of perennial status. So that is a question that the commission needs to look at. We recognize that we had one of our engineers took a look at the site plans, specifically with respect to the FEMA floodplain, which is synonymous with bordering land subject to flooding. That the commission, unlike the state Wetlands Protection Act, the commission, your bylaw includes a 100-foot buffer zone to BLSF, and it is our opinion that that is not properly shown on the site plans. And what we'd recommend is that gets sorted out so that so that the elevation of the base flood is properly represented based on the topography of the site. Then the final and really big thing, a couple things, but most importantly, there is the cart path to the south of the site. And that is in dispute whether or not the cart path itself is jurisdictional wetland. We took a look at the wetland flagging that's on the site that was out there, and dug a soil pit, because obviously with a cart path, vegetation tends to get altered through use and maintenance and so forth. So the vegetation is not a good indicator of wetland status. And in a case like that, you really need to look at the soils. And that was one of the reasons I brought our soils expert with us. And he looked at it, determined that it was hydric soils. And so our conclusion is that the cart path is largely wetland and should be designated as such. Those are the primary issues. There are a couple of things with regard to the vernal pools that were evaluated on the site. We verified 2, and one of them remains identified as potential vernal pool. It should be a verified vernal pool. So there's, and then we, in the original letter, I think we had a couple of recommended minor tweaks to the location of a few flags. But in broad brush, those are the primary issues that remain outstanding.
Okay, thank you, Matt. And you had got the response back from Silver Engineering on their responses to you?
We did, yes.
Okay. All right. Anything further on those, or? think you pretty much touched
Basically, we are in opposition of mind on several of those points. I brought up the ones that we disagree on.
Yep.
And so those are the things that need to get hammered out.
Okay. All right, Matt, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Steve, do we see a Zoo on at this time?
Zoo is here, yes.
Okay. Zoo, are you there?
Yes, Madam Chair, as Steve just said, yes.
One never knows. We asked you also, with your, with your depth knowledge of wetlands and everything, to take a look into this too. Where it's very complicated filing, and the commission needs all the guidance we can get. Have you had a chance, the last time you were on, you thought you could have a chance to look at what has been brought up so far? And
Yeah, I think you're getting a good bang for your buck on our BSC group. So I think they're firing on all cylinders, and I think you're in good hands. So I would concur with their findings, especially relative to the cart path and the stream, the tributary streams. So, but it's the applicants they can contest it, but I think you hired the BSC group to advise and to counsel the commission, and I think they're doing a great job, and the commission will be well served to heed the recommendations of its peer review consultant.
okay, thank you, Azul. We truly appreciate your input on this. Steve, are you there, hon?
Yes, I am, Ron.
All right. If you could just hit a couple of the points, please, on the ditches that you might have been concerned about versus, I know that notice of intent was pulled, but you had mentioned to me there was a difference in the ANRAD on those areas. Is this something that I was wondering too, if BSC
Yeah.
and their wetland scientists also with Silver had seen?
Yeah, Matt had noted in his report some of the differences in the flagging. It really is detailed within the report that BSC submitted. Some of the differences between what they see and versus what was seen in the field. And then as far as the language for the notice of intent and some of the flagging from the notice of intent filing, again, a separate filing, I understand that. But there was some changes to the flags that at one point it does seem that area may have been flagged as the cart path area as a wetland at one point, and is no longer so. I, in addition, have done the stream stats and am in full agreement with Matt Byrne based on the perennial status of the streams that are located to the west of the site. That's the way the regulations spell it out to delineate those things. So I'm in full agreement with those as well. Other than that, I need to potentially sit with Matt on site and go over whatever his findings are after they're done doing their final review.
Okay, and that was going to be my next question. Maybe what was the best way to go forward with that, where it kind of got jumbled the first time? Do we let Matt go out with you or with the commission on site? I'm going to now ask some of the commission members their thoughts on this. I'll start with Harry Weiss.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. I want to add one more thing into this. Any tributary that flows into the Taunton River becomes part of the Taunton River Watershed Association's jurisdiction under the advisory group, the Taunton River Stewardship Council. So with that, there's 12 communities that the Taunton River runs through. There's 46 communities that we have jurisdiction over with the tributaries. I just wanted to put that in there. Snows Brook comes under our jurisdiction.
Thank you, Harry. Eileen, your thoughts?
I feel the same way as Harry does. I think that, and I think it would be good, it would behoove all of us to be there together with the BSC group.
Okay. Wendy, your thoughts, please?
I'm not really sure what to say.
You know what? That's an honest comment. Thank you. So honestly, I'm fine either way. At this point, I'll just ask the remaining, Jen, any comments from you before I hand it back to Rebecca?
No, I have no comments at this time. Thank you.
Okay, I thank you all. I think we'll leave that up to discretion. It sounds like the commission would like to be out there, and that's fine. Rebecca, I'll hand it to you. I have no issues also if you're, if Ken wants to be on site at the same time, so I'll leave that up to how Silver Engineering would like to proceed, but anything further from you, Rebecca?
Mandy's not on, correct? The applicant, the owner, the applicant, I'm sorry. So without him present, then I'm going to defer to however the commission wants to handle it. If it's a site walk that's scheduled with Matt Byrne and Ken Thompson or commission or whomever, let's do it.
All right, we'll let them coordinate, Steve. We'll let the office coordinate on how that wants to go.
Sure.
Okay, and at this time then, any other comments from the commissioners? Azu, thank you very much for coming. I'm gonna, anybody in attendance with a question on 01300 Vernon Street filing?
I just ask people to raise their hand or make yourself known in the chat so we can identify you, and then you can identify yourself for the record if you'd like to make a comment.
I don't see anything, Steve.
Yeah,
Okay.
seeing anything.
All right, so if anybody is listening, again, this will be your notice for the next hearing. We will be live at the town hall. No virtual will be going on. So that'll be the April, Thursday, the 14th at 5:30. Again, that is at the town hall in the regular meeting chambers, I believe, Steve.
As far as I understand, I'm going to defer to Jen on that. She might be able to clarify that, but that's what I understand.
Don't put me in a small room. I get really hot, Jen.
No, I believe Nicole. I believe Nicole's already reserved the council chambers for you.
Yay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So Rebecca, you'll send in a motion, a written thing for continuance, and we'll
Yes,
Have you-
ma'am.
have you guys prevail from there. At this point, the chair would entertain a motion, please, to continue to the 14th of April.
I will make a motion to continue 0 to 1300 Vernon Street to April 14th at 5:30 PM at the Academy. Is it the Academy?
Yeah,
I forget what they changed the name.
I second.
all right, here in a second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, hearing none. Roll call vote, please. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll move forward with that on the next meeting. And
Thank you very much.
thank you all.
Good-
Have a
Thank
great
See
evening.
you all.
Thank you.
Take care.
Night.
What did I just, good night.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Azu
Azu.
Azu and
Thank
Jen,
you,
thank you
Azu.
very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you. Good night.
Greatly appreciated for the town. All right, moving right along, we have another abbreviated notice of resource area 350 Cross Street, map 118, lot 89, 25, 24, 23. Applicant is Robert Baza with Larry Silver Engineering. Rebecca, you're still here.
I am still here.
Okay, floor is yours.
So last, I was asked at the last meeting to provide calculations to demonstrate that the isolated land is not jurisdictional, and I have submitted those. I had hoped to hear that Silbo had a chance to visit the site, but I hadn't heard. So I wonder if Steve has had a chance to put a shovel in the ground.
Yes, I have.
Excellent.
But I'll let Marilyn lead us off here, and because I know she's interested in calculations. So
Yeah, and I
see-
mean, we literally just got this information, Rebecca,
Yeah.
so obviously we can't act, we literally just got it. And I can't really read too much with my glasses on, but if you could break the calculations down for me and just let me know what your findings were, and then I'll head it back to Steve.
Does
Did it come
someone
in?
wanna-
Did it come in less than a quarter?
It did, but I was
Okay.
hoping that Nicole could put that on the screen, or I could put it on the screen.
I
But I
gave,
can just,
You should be able to share. I only got hard copies today, so I don't happen to have digital, so please do
Okay.
share.
but you gotta share the Rebecca at Silva, not my phone.
oh,
Steve, are
I
you
know,
clicking
I
on the,
I make it complicated. So the short answer is non-jurisdictional. So the long answer is, do I have it now?
I think so. It just,
I do. Fabulous. Thank you. So the regulations call out isolated land subject to flooding is an isolated depression or closed basin without an inlet or outlet. So it's an area which at least once a year confines standing water to a volume of at least 1/4 acre foot and to an average depth of at least 6 inches. The depression as calculated only has, over here, right? Okay, only has a volume of 5,392 cubic feet. It does not meet both the volume and the depth. It does have a large depth, 18 inches, but it doesn't meet the volume for holding of enough.
okay.
So it doesn't have an outlet. It flows in, it's very confined, and whatever little bit of outlet is the elevation up here that so I calculated all of the little rings of volume, and it's only 5,392 cubic feet.
Okay.
Less than the 10,000 needed to qualify.
All right. I just wanted some calculations on it, so that's good. Steve, any further thoughts on that?
Yeah, Marilyn, we spoke about this. So I think there was kind of 2 issues outstanding. I think Rebecca has brought them both to the table. The one being the calculations for this isolated depression. And the other, yes, I did enter the site via the power lines because I wanted to see how some of those wetlands on that side were doing and if there were any egg masses showing up because they're quite interesting wetlands. And I did dig down and I agree with Ken Thompson. Based on his review of the soils in that area, it just seems to be a low spot where some water settles, but it's clearly not long enough for, wetland species and the soils to be hydrated. At the same time, I know that Harry had wanted to see the site with me. I did try to reach out to him this week, but we could not get together. So it's completely up to Harry. I know he has seen the site previously. If he would still like more information and to see the area, I think he should be given that opportunity. If not, I think the commission probably has enough information to make a decision.
I'm all set, Steve.
Okay.
Okay, at this time, I'll have Eileen weigh in with anything. Who's vacuuming?
I don't know, but it's not me. I actually just got the information this
Oh,
afternoon.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
What is that background noise?
I don't know. Is it good?
Okay. Okay. Oh, there
Here it is again.
yeah. Steve,
I
is
have
everybody
not had a
muted?
chance to review the plan because it just came in late this afternoon. Can anybody understand me?
Yeah. Wow, what is that?
I don't know. Eileen is vacuuming. Thanks.
I don't think so.
Stop vacuuming.
No, I'm not. But anyway, I have not had a chance to review the plan, so I'm assuming we're gonna have to continue because they came in so late today.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
I haven't
know.
had a
It's
chance
up
to
to
review the
Rebecca.
plans either.
It's up to Rebecca.
The only thing I added was these calculations. So it's the same plan you've seen. I just added this nice little mathematical equation to demonstrate that this was a non-jurisdictional isolated depression.
If I just may interject, the only thing I could suggest to the commission if they do want to obviously verify this information is I can quickly run it by the town engineer. And then,
Right.
we can leave this as a final item to clear before the next meeting. And we'll have Greg Tansey take a quick look at it. You should be able to calculate the volume and see if Rebecca's numbers are accurate. And if they are, then I don't think we have an issue.
Right, which is I believe we need to do.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. And then we'd be able to, everything matches, we can close it that night. So, Harry, comments on it?
No.
Okay, Wendy, any comments on this one? Huh?
No, I'd be okay with moving forward, but if other people are not and need more calculations done, so be it.
Okay. All right. Anybody in the online that has a question on this filing of 350 Cross Street?
And just a reminder, if people want to speak, they should raise their hand with the chat or put their comment in the chat so we can identify you and we can get you up and speaking. I am not seeing any.
Okay. All right. With that said, then, Rebecca, if you want to just put in for a continuation, and I don't believe that will hold us up on the next meeting. Everything matches, we can just close it and approve. Rebecca,
I'll ask for continuation for the town engineer to review.
all right, thank you. Can I have a chair entertain a motion, please, for continuation to April 14th?
I can make a motion to continue to April 14th, 350 Cross Street.
Second.
All right, here in a second, any further discussion? All right, nobody's vacuuming, so that's good. Roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
and Wendy Smith. Aye, we gotta figure that noise out. All right, thank you. We'll see you on the next
Thank
meeting,
you.
Rebecca.
Have a good night.
All right, we have, next a notice of it. Is there any way we can see if somebody's like not muted that should be?
Yeah,
me-
I'm looking at them right now.
Because me and
They're all-
background noise don't get along, as you remember in the open meetings.
They're all muted in mine.
Yeah. Maybe some sort of interference when people speak into their microphones. It's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, we'll just try to keep rocking it, then we'll just keep moving.
Yeah.
All right, next we have a notice of intent, 900 Bedford Street, map 88, lot 133. Applicant is Jeff Checkaway, Zachary Richards of Bowler. We have a DEP file number. Okay, you guys are up. Anybody from this filing?
Sure. Zach Richards here with Bowler, and Eileen, I apologize for pointing you out as the vacuumer.
That's
I saw
okay.
your
All
talk
right.
going, so I was trying to help out, but
No worries.
not sure where that interference is coming from. We are back. I'm here with Jeff Checkaway from Claire Properties, who's the applicant, as well as Tom Liddy from Lucas Environmental, who's the wetland scientist on the project. And again, Zach Richards with Bowler, we're the civil site engineer for the project. I'll keep my update really brief. I think we heard feedback at the last hearing that there was interest in a site visit, which we organized and staked out some of the areas of the proposed work and made sure all the flags were refreshed before the site visit, and walked those with Steve and some members of the commission. I think everyone was generally satisfied with the site walk and the look of the site and the flags. We've also been hard at work in the meantime, responding to all the town department comments, and specifically getting a clean letter from the town engineer regarding the stormwater review. And we did receive approval from the planning board at the hearing last week. So we're here again tonight, hopefully to wrap this up, and happy to answer any other questions that the commission may have. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Zachary. Yes, I myself and Eileen was out there. That was just the area I wanted to see with the tightness on the plans. I have no issues with it. So Steve, I'll have you do any further comments and then I'll pass to the commission.
Yeah, in addition to the sidewalk, the last thing I wanted to see was the stormwater management plan being approved by Greg Tansey, the town engineer, which has happened in the meantime. As Zach just said, they got their full planning board approvals and sign-offs. So in that regard, we know that they're settled. We know the town engineer has reviewed it. We know that it's up to par with what the standards need to be. And then, as you said, we did the site visit. We saw how close that actual furthest most encroachment towards the wetland would be. And everybody was satisfied with the low grade or the low slope down to the wetland. And that even though it was very close and probably within the 25-foot to just outside the 25-foot zone, that there would be a low potential for impact of erosion and sedimentation control, or sedimentation to the wetland with the proper sedimentation control put in. So I would suggest that the commission issue an order conditions on this tonight. We can get it off the docket. So.
All right, thank you, Steve. Eileen, I'll go to you next. You were also out there with me. Any thoughts or concerns?
Actually, no, I was very, very happy with the site. I was very happy with the professional job that they did, and the engineering work was to a T. I was very, very pleased with the project.
All right, thank you. Harry, I don't know if you got a chance to go out or any comments from you, but
No, I haven't gone too far away from the house anyway, so
okay.
I'll rely on the other commissioners.
Okay, I know you like that 25 foot. You know, they're okay.
I heard
there.
that.
Okay, Wendy, any comments, please? Thoughts?
No, I trust you and your surveying of, what you saw. And I mean, it sounds good. The plans looked really good last time that we looked at them. So I'm good.
Okay, very good. Anybody with a question on this filing of 900 Bedford Street? Map 88, lot 133 can raise their hand or like that. Give that a minute.
I am not seeing anyone interested in commenting.
Okay, all right. With that being said, then Chair would entertain a motion, please, to close.
I will make a motion to close the hearing for 900 Bedford Street.
Second,
Hearing a second, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, roll call vote. Mary McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
All right. We are 3 weeks out. We could make a motion to approve, Steve, or
That's what I was hoping you would bring up, is that we do have 3 weeks. I think this project has been approached and has been through every probably review that is possible in the town of Bridgewater. And for that reason, and with as receptive as they've been to everything that we've asked along the way, I would suggest that we could issue the order of conditions tonight and get it out to the property owners and the applicants so that they can get started.
yeah, see, as we're not back in 2 weeks. Okay, so Chair would entertain a motion to approve the order of conditions.
I will make a motion to approve 900 Bedford Street.
Second,
Hearing a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mary McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
All right, again, thank you. Zachary, was it you vacuuming? Because it got quiet.
I know. Oh, no.
Busted.
Oh. Well, thank you for putting up with my vacuuming, and I appreciate all of your, assistance in making the site visit happen so quickly and working with us through the project. So
No
thank you
worries.
all very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck now.
Hopefully the vacuuming leaves with me. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Now, Nicole and Steve, was there one on last week that we closed that we needed to vote on?
Yeah, 30 Colonial. It took me a minute to realize it, so I went back and listened to the meeting, and I was like, okay, nope, they just closed it, so I had to put it back on. So sorry.
So I don't see it on the agenda, so I just want to make sure we're not missing.
Yeah.
Because typically if we close, we approve it the following thing, unless we were in like the COVID times of, not
Yeah.
meeting a lot.
I should have sent you the revised one, Marilyn. I apologize. That was totally on me, but it
Don't
is
worry about it.
revised. It is posted appropriately, and it's your next item, 30 Colonial. So,
Okay, would you mind reading that? Just because I don't have it on the one in front of me?
so notice of intent, 30 Colonial Drive, map 111, lot 31, C8. Applicant representative is John. John, I'm so sorry if you're on here. I don't know how to say your last name. Zalio? I don't know, but I'm sorry, John.
I do it all the time. Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, representative is Larry Silva at SEA, and DEP file is SE 1116 dash. Steve, do you have the full file? I believe we might have just received it.
We just received the file number on Goodwater.
So, okay, hold on. Let me see. We should have the other one then. We did get the other one though, right?
Yeah, I think we got the other one. It's been Look at my DE people.
Yep, sorry, Marilyn, one moment.
No,
That's-
no worries,
should've-
no worries.
I totally should have thrown that in, but I want to say there is,
116-1511.
yes, yes. So there is a DEP file number for that, Marilyn.
Okay, all right, so guys, this was the one last week, or last meeting with the pool that we did close on. So now I would take a motion, please, to approve order of conditions.
A motion to approve 30, is it 30 Colonial?
Yep.
Wait.
Yep.
I thought it was Goodwater for some reason. Okay, yeah, motion to approve, sorry.
Second,
Hearing a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Okay, that one is all set. So I have under new business, notice of intent, 80 Goodwater Way, map 82, lot 56. Applicant is Roddy Brown of Mount Hope Engineering. So Nicole, do we have the, oh, look at that right there for
Can
me
you-
to read. Yes, I can.
Can you read it? Is that big enough?
I think I can, yep.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Legal notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, in accordance with the Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw. The Bridgewater Conservation will hold a public hearing on March 24, 2022, held at a virtual meeting over Zoom. A link and instructions to participate in the meeting will follow and be posted on the calendar of the town's website, www.bridgewatermass.org. A recording of the meeting will also be posted to the town's website within 48 hours after the meeting ends. The hearing is for a notice of intent filed by Roddy Brown. The applicant proposes septic tank leach field associated grading of bordering vegetated wetlands. The property is owned by Roddy Brown and is located at 80 Goodwater Way, Bridgewater, Mass. Map 82, parcel 56. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the hearing date and time as interested persons. So the hearing, oh, it was put in date time. Okay. All right. So that ad was run, and Nicole, you could verify green cards.
Yes,
you
those
had
were
them?
sent today.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Silver Engineering, you're open.
Nope.
No,
Mount Hope Engineering.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Mount Hope Engineering.
Mount Hope is not in. It's Roddy Brown himself, the owner.
Oh, property owner. Okay. Go ahead.
Do you want me to describe what I'm doing?
Identify yourself for the record first.
My name is Roddy Brown, the owner of 80 Goodwater Way, Bridgewater. Simply what I'm doing is I'm doing a repair to a cesspool that I have, and I'm putting in an Aranco system, a treatment system, and it's going to have a drip filter. That's all going to be out of the wetland zone. There is, however, going to be a wall 4.5 feet tall. It's going to cut into the wetlands about 18 feet, not into the wetland, but in the 50-foot variance, about 18 feet. This is to stop runoff into the road and stuff, because I'm right on the, it's right across the way is the wetlands. So that's what I'm proposing to do. And I got a plan here with hay bales and silt fence, which I'll abide by, no problem. And it really needs to be done.
Okay, thank you, Roddy. All right, I've got the package from Bridgewater Administration. Steve, I'll start with you.
Sure. So I visited the site earlier this week, or was it last week? I was out there recently, and yeah, the site is right on top of the wetlands. There is a road, as you can see. Goodwater Way does separate the property from the wetlands that are across the street, but then the wetland turns directly into Lake Nipponicket. There is, but there is some slope issues in this area. As you can see, it's very steep. All right. I get distracted by the noise. Sorry. So my only concerns with this project are the slopes leading down to the road, and during construction being able to contain that sedimentation and erosion. And I was speaking with Marilyn before the meeting, and I think a good scenario and to do this is to find an appropriate weather window so that we don't have any precipitation in the forecast. What is that?
It sounds like we're having a hurricane now.
I don't hear it at all.
Really?
don't
Oh, I do.
I got it.
I hear it.
Now
I
it's
don't.
gone.
Let me mute myself. Maybe it's me.
It's coming from you. It's coming from in the house.
I don't hear it, so maybe it's me.
It is you.
She doesn't hear it. It probably is her. Wow, look at
It
that.
is her.
It is.
It's Nicole.
Nicole, secretly vacuuming.
You got a Zoomer in the background? Get your housework done.
Okay,
at the
so
same time?
I'm gonna
Okay.
regroup here for a second. So yeah, as you guys can see, we have a steep slope that goes down to Goodwater Way, immediately right over to a wetland, and then right into Lake Nipanicket. Like Mr. Brown said, this project needs to be done. It also involves, I believe, the filling of a cesspool that is on property. Is that correct, Mr. Brown?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're going to be filling a cesspool, which is always a positive. And a placement, is that an advanced system in the sense of
Yes.
denitrification?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another positive. I didn't know the terminology. I was hoping, I know that there's no requirements for denitrifying septic systems under Title V, but I was encouraged. Now I'm very encouraged to hear that because it's technology that will make sure that the least amount of nitrogen and other, other nutrients are eliminated from the effluent and put back into the groundwater, therefore eliminating the chance, or not eliminating, but certainly buffering the chance of, some of the invasive and nastier plants to come in. So that's a definite plus as well. What I was getting to before the vacuuming started was the erosion and sedimentation control is going to be crucial on this because of the slope, and it's very flat once you get down to the street, and then it goes immediately over to the pond. You're going to obviously probably try to get this done as soon as possible, right, Mr. Brown?
Yes, I am. And there's also, I just want to bring up, there's a tree that went down in the windstorm back in the fall, and
Yeah, I
it's
saw that.
huge. And I'm going to get that stump out of there, and I'll fill that in with some stone. And I can also turn that wall. I was talking to the wall guy. I can radius that back into there so that, we keep that hill tight where we're working.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Anything to hold that sediment this side of the street or this side of that roadway is going to be the key to this project. It's in the buffer zone. It's a project that needs to be done. I think we should focus on trying to find at least a 2 or 3 day window that we're not expecting any rain so that we can potentially minimize the amount of erosion and sedimentation that could make its way down to the pond or the lake. That may not be possible, but I say we consider it, and we really try to do something like that, even if we have to condition it. Just because I see the erosion and sedimentation control or potential here on this site to be higher than other sites in town. But other than that, I think it's a project that needs to be done. So.
Okay, thanks, Stephen. I did see Eric's notes here. I mean, obviously it's failed. It needs to be done. I'm familiar with that area. I was just coming through there the other day. So I agree 100% with Steve that, just making sure good erosions. And if we could, I know it's New England, but sometimes those forecasts are pretty good. If definitely do it on days that, we don't expect any good rainfall. But it sounds like you did your homework, and I like the idea with the wall and everything. So, I have no further issues. Got to get you up and running with the clean septic. So right now I'll ask the commissioners for any comments. Harry?
I'm all set. I consider this like an emergency. He's done his homework. Everything that I see looks fine. I go along with looking for 3 good days and get it done.
Yeah. Eileen, any comments?
No, I'm good. I just, as long as the erosion control is in place, I feel comfortable, and obviously it needs to be done as soon as possible.
Yep. Wendy, any comments?
No, I did what Eileen just said.
Okay. So, Roddy, maybe it'd be good to coordinate with Steve. Maybe he could be on site. You get to pick your days, hopefully soon. And we'll take a vote in 1 second. Anybody in the audience, anybody with a question on the filing of 80 Goodwater Way, map 82, lot 56?
Crowds dwindled. I am seeing none.
Okay, then Chair would entertain a motion, please, to close.
Make a motion to approve Good Water.
No, we gotta close it first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make a motion to close. 80
That's all
Good
right.
Water.
Second,
Aaron, a second, any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Now, Steve, thinking the same thing, we're 3 weeks out and this one really needs to get away. We can make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I would suggest that, especially with, like Harry said, it's sort of an emergency situation. We don't
Yeah.
want to let it linger and have it fail even further.
Nope, I'm cool with that. So Chair would entertain a motion, please, for approval of order of conditions.
Make a motion to approve 80 Good Water Way order of conditions.
Second,
Here in a second, any further discussion? Oh, somebody had something.
Somebody is a baby.
It's your
It's
baby.
the baby.
All right, hearing
Baby.
none.
Baby.
Hearing
Nice.
none. Roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
All right, Roddy, thank you very much for coming in and good luck.
Good luck.
Could I get,
And just keep,
could I get a contact for Steve? Would that be possible?
Yeah, I'll write, yeah, if 508, if you have a pen,
Yep, I'm all set.
508-697-0950. And then, I forget what extension I have, 1247.
usually one of you pick up at Route 2. Right?
Yeah. You'll find us if you call that number. Either myself or
Okay.
Nicole. And Nicole will get you to me somehow.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate the help. We have our equipment, retained already, and we have a tank all set.
Okay.
And I've got a place coming on the blocks very shortly, so I'll have that stuff all sitting off to the side waiting to go in.
All right, excellent.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good
thank you.
night.
Yep, just stay in touch with Steve. Thank you very much, Roddy.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You
You
too
too.
now. All right, conservation business approval of minutes. I have read them. Have everybody read them?
I read them.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, then Chair would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes from, don't know the date. Somebody give me a date? Was it March 10th?
It was, yes, March 10th.
Wendy, you'll have to second.
Oh, I made the motion.
No, she made the motion. I'll second.
Okay.
All right, here in a second, any further discussion? All right, roll call vote approval of minutes. Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Okay, then all we have is anything under discussion items. Steve or anybody, anything?
Yeah,
to
I've got two quick ones.
Okay,
The first one is I was out at 40 Oliver Place, which may ring a bell to some of you. We recently approved an order of conditions for an addition and some other work for around the property to enhance it. He requested, because what he realized is he didn't factor in the trees that were surrounding the new addition. So when he took a look at the trees that were around the new addition, they're all dead and they're leaning towards where the addition's gonna be. So he had a tree guy come down and take a look, and the tree guy wouldn't touch the trees unless they spoke to conservation first, which is another thing that I love to hear, because we should be checking on these things before anyone makes any cuts within 100 feet or otherwise. So I went and checked out the trees, and in fact, they are all leaning towards the gentleman's home. Two of them are precariously hanging over where the addition will be. They're dying because of all the poison ivy and bittersweet that has choked out the trees. So I gave him permission to remove those trees because they pose a potential risk to his personal property. And I told him that the last step would just be informing the commission of those, so that if you hear any, cutting down by 40 Oliver, you know what it is, because he's got some trees that unfortunately they're dying and they need to come down, because otherwise they might really hurt somebody or something. So if you have any questions or comments on that, otherwise I'll move on to the other item.
I'm good.
I'm good. We don't want
I'm
anybody
good.
hurt.
So the other item is over on Harvest Lane. Are you guys are very familiar with the Home Nook conservation and open space area that's associated with Harvest Lane. So the Board of Trustees over there, they have brought to the attention that it is a conservation held parcel. They have activities occurring out there that are not allowed on conservation lands, mainly motorized vehicle use. You know, there are certain things you can do on conservation lands. It's passive recreation, which is walking, bicycle riding, horseback riding, you know, anything that doesn't really involve a motor. And there's some other activities that the Board of Trustees has noticed as well. So they approached me, and what they would like to do is write a letter to send out to the people that border on this open space / conservation area, and make them aware of what the rules and regulations of that area are and the appropriate uses. And so I'm hoping that I can get the authorization from the commission to move forward with that Board of Trustees to draft a letter and send it out to the abutters that do abut that property, so that hopefully they do see a decrease in the amount of, you know, vehicle traffic on ATVs and bikes. The last thing I do need to figure out is postage, because I don't think that's something the town should be responsible for. It's something I have to discuss with administration as far as how we're going to pay for it, depending on how many abutters it is. But if that's something, and of course, anything I write or before it goes out will be approved and signed off by you guys. I just wanted to get your authorization to start speaking with the Board of Trustees and come up with a framework that could be something that we use for other similar areas in town where we may be seeing, you know, ATV use or dirt bike use where it's not supposed to be happening, where we might have a boilerplate letter and say, hey, you know, we're not trying to, you know, discipline you or anything like that. We just want to make you aware that these are not appropriate uses of that property. Because I believe that most of the problem is not ignorance in the standpoint of they're not intelligent enough to understand. It's just that they don't know what is appropriate, what's not appropriate on those lands. So with that authorization, I'd like to work with the Board of Trustees to get that letter out, because it is land that's held by the Conservation Commission.
I'm cool with you starting that, but I can tell you it can be a very challenging with motorbikes and stuff, and it might not just be the abutters. So it is a challenging situation. So, but you know, we've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Do they
Start with
have
the
any
awareness piece.
postings on trees or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be part of the discussion. So Wendy, if you want to, you know, potentially sit down at this meeting as well, and you know, maybe talk to the Board of Trustees with me and say, you know, what are your plans beyond the letter? Are you gonna, you know, maybe we can get them to pay for some signage, because signage seems to be, and I think we've seen this before, like Maryland, on those common dumping areas we found, where we're trying to figure out how do we post a sign that says you can't dump your grass here. You know, maybe we start growing some of these things grassroots. We get a set of signs put out there by the Board of Trustees that show the appropriate uses. It's certainly a piece that could make people more aware and more willing to learn about the areas that surround them.
Sounds good.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
And then other than that, I've got nothing.
All right, then the chair would entertain a motion.
Wendy?
Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
you.
I make a motion to close.
Adjourn.
Adjourn, close
Adjourn.
enough.
Second.
Second, all in favor with no further discussion? Aye, aye, aye.
Yay.
All right, guys, have a great evening. Thank you all for keeping the meeting rolling.
And
Thank
Nicole.
you.
There she is.
Thank
There
you,
she is.
Wendy.
Yay!
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Oh. Make it
Say
bigger.
hi.
Thank
Say
you
hi.
are.
Isn't she cute?
She's a doll.
She's beautiful.
Oh, you got so big.
Yeah, awesome.
Hi,
Awesome.
Muffin.
Just pick it up,
Look
Pete.
at us all.
There she is in full screen. Oh, yeah. Very cute.
Baby's on camera.
Yeah. Oh my
Still
God.
recording. She's going to be all over YouTube.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
Hey,
All right,
buddy.
everyone
Have a good one,
night.
guys. Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.